Hi guys, I'm a little nervous, so bear with me. My name's Rachel, and I'm a sophomore at Winona State this year. When I was younger, I grew up in a house where going to church was not really a big thing. We had a church in my hometown, but it was more of like a free daycare if my parents wanted a night from the kids, that they would just drop me and my brothers off. I always knew about God and Jesus and everything, but I never really had any influences in my life to like teach me about it. So I never really thought anything of it, and I just went on with my whole life story. It wasn't until my first year of college that I met the Lord through my wonderful freshman roommate, Ashley. If you don't know her, she's really amazing. I would always ask her questions because she grew up in a church, and I remember she was always kind enough to share the answers with me. And she would go on Sundays and come back happier than ever. And I remember when I did ask her questions, she would also encourage me to come with her. I always never thought I was suited in being in a church since I never grew up in it, and I thought it would be weird to go just on a whim. Until one day she brought me to Pleasant Valley, and I immediately fell in love. I started coming every weekend I could with her, and occasionally going to H2O house during the week. One weekend there was a dinner for the ladies that actually happened last weekend. Last year, that's where I met Caroline, and she did a message for the night and mentioned towards the end that if we wanted to learn more and wanted help accepting the Lord into our hearts, to find her after and talk to her about it. And that's exactly what I did. She brought me upstairs and we talked a little bit, and then she helped me accept the Lord into my heart. She told me that the next day at Sunday church there would be baptisms and I should consider doing it. I thought to myself that it was too soon, but when I got to church, I started to feel all fluttery inside and knew that it was the Lord calling me to get baptized, even though I was too scared to do it. Once baptism started, Caroline tapped me on the shoulder as she was behind me the whole service and asked me if I wanted to go up, and instantly I said yes. At the same time, Ashley, who was my roommate, also decided to get baptized, and tears were shed as we both went up on stage to get our new fresh start. A while after that, I started to grow distant from the Lord. Being in such a spiritual high for a while, you start to think you don't really need to go anymore, and you don't need to read your Bible as much. And that's when I started to feel lonely and like no one believed in me anymore. One week during this winter, it got so cold out that my car wouldn't start, and it was such a struggle and a rough week because I had to go to work. I had my friend jumpstart my car towards the end of the week so that I could go to work for the weekend, and that Sunday I decided, since it was such a rough week, I'd go back to church for the first time in a while. Towards the end of the service that Sunday, they had the prayer team come up during worship, and I felt like I was being called to have them pray for me. I had them pray for me to feel the Lord's presence in my life as I go through it, and for Him to let me know that He's always with me. That night, when I had to go to work, my car wouldn't start again, so I was in a bad mood running late for work, and I had to end up borrowing my friend's car. When I got to work, I was told that I had to work in the ICU, which made it worse because at the time I hated working in the ICU. And there was this one patient that I had to help eat because he couldn't use his hands. And I was so upset about it that I just really didn't want to do it, but I had to do it because it was my job. While I was helping him and I immediately made a friendship connection. And he asked me randomly while I was helping him if I had gone to church that morning. And I knew nothing about this man. I told him that yes, it was the first time that I went in a while, and he told me that he was so proud of me and to remember the Lord is always with me in my heart. I went home that night thinking about how amazing the Lord is, and it proves that when you pray for something, He can make it happen. No matter the hardships and the struggles that we go through as children of the Lord, He wants us to know that He will always be there for us and He will never leave our side. Thank you.